I'm an artist, which also means I'm a creator because I create things. A storyteller since I have stories to tell, a visionary. I write about where I've been. These poems act as self-help. I'm a healer. Not always for myself, but one time a kid told me he almost killed himself, but he heard one of my poems and decided to keep living. And from that day forward, I was like, today is a good day to keep someone alive. People ask me how I did it or how they should do it, and I'm sure if they're asking me about the kid or themselves, what I've come to learn is no one can tell when I'm not doing well but me. I get to travel across the country and do poems for a living like that's my job, and out of 50 states, I've performed in 47 of them. I read an article that said only 20% of people in the US are doing what they actually love, or whatever sad statistic it was, and I was like, my God, ain't damned nothing in me. I'm doing exactly what I've always wanted to do. So I must be blessed. Must be exemplifying all this miracle. I am stressed and winning. I look at and update my curriculum vitae daily, and I be like, damn, I'm surprised I even knew how to say that word. And I gave all that I had. And you ain't never known a black woman who ain't did that. My friends call on me when they're down and out or just in need. And what good is a God that can't speak life into somebody? Check on your strong friends. Check on your strong friends. Check on your strong friends. Built like me, I design myself. But every time I climb, my community get co-signed. Divinity defined. Cheers to the Most High. I just pray I leave something good behind.
Madness. Yo, madness. They say I am mad. I am evil, that my genes are corrupted, and my brain is deformed, that my actions are freaky, and my behavior is not the norm. I just want to play with my memories. But they say I am mad. Madness. Yo, madness. They say I am mad. That I am evil. That my genes are corrupted. And my brain with my memories. But they say I am mad. Madness. Yo, madness.
I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so pleasant about that place. Even your emotions have an echo in so much space. And when you're out there without care, yeah, I was out of touch. But it wasn't because I didn't know enough. I just knew too much. Crazy. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? And I hope that you are having the time of your life. But think twice. That's my only advice. Come on now, who do you think you are? Bless your soul. You really think you're in control? Well, I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. Just like me. My hero has a heart to the life I wanna live. And all I remember is thinking I wanna be like this. Ever since I was little, it looked like fun. If there's no coincidence, I come. And I can die when I'm done. But maybe I'm crazy. Maybe you're crazy. Maybe we're crazy.
Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. If a man is working toward a predetermined goal and knows where he's going, that man is a success. If he's not doing that, he's a failure. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. we think about. Now, it stands to reason that a person who's thinking about a concrete and worthwhile goal is going to reach it, because that's what he's thinking about, and we become what we think about. Conversely, the man who has no goal, who doesn't know where he's going, and whose thoughts must therefore be thoughts of confusion and anxiety and fear and worry, becomes what he thinks about. His life becomes one of frustration and fear and anxiety and worry. And if he thinks about nothing, he becomes nothing. Success. 1. Set yourself a definite goal. 2. Quit running yourself down. 3. Stop thinking of all the reasons why you cannot be successful and instead think of all the reasons why you can. 4. Trace your attitudes back through your childhood and try to discover where you first got the idea you couldn't be successful, if that's the way you've been thinking. 5. Change the image you have of yourself by writing out a description of the person you would like to be. And 6. Act the part of the successful person you have decided to become. The doctor who wrote those words is a noted West Coast psychiatrist. Do what the experts since the dawn of recorded history have told you must do. Pay the price by becoming the person you want to become. It's not nearly as difficult as living unsuccessfully. Make your 30-day test, then repeat it again, and each time it will become more a part of you until you'll wonder how you could ever have lived any other way. Live this new way and the floodgates of abundance will open and pour over you more riches than you may have dreamed existed. Money? Yes, lots of it. But what's more important, you'll have peace. You'll be in that wonderful minority who lead calm, cheerful, successful lives. Start today. You have nothing to lose, but you have a whole life to win. This is Earl Nightingale, and thank you.
Vicarious trauma or vicarious suffering. It's still a new concept for me. Can you just expand on it a little bit, please?
The hearing or the seeing people describing very, very terrible things, that can itself have an effect on the listener. So if I hear 10 or 20 or 100 stories of people being tortured, of course it's not the same as being tortured myself, but it can be traumatic in itself. And it can cause a syndrome which is sometimes known as vicarious trauma, in which people feel increasingly helpless, unable to control the situation, but may also become more cynical or indifferent and less efficient in their work. And so I think that we as individuals, and in particular as individual doctors, or you and I as individual psychiatrists, we need to be mindful that that is a risk for us. But I think it's also an important thing for organizations to remember that people who are exposed to multiple terrible things, and it's not just things like torture or trafficking, it may also be doctors in accident and emergency departments who see multiple accident victims, multiple people with horrendous injuries. That can be vicariously traumatic in the same way. They are not physically injured themselves, but they are affected by seeing and hearing those injuries. So we need to look after ourselves. Our organizations need to support us in doing that. So, for example, time needs to be set aside for supervision, for breaks. People need to be respected if they are distressed, rather than being told to pull themselves together.
There is a professional rank to you and I, but we are also human and we are affected by this.
Yes, and one term that I find quite useful in that concept is the notion of compassion fatigue. The danger is that we become so used to hearing bad stories that we think, well, that's not as bad as what I heard yesterday, or that's only minor or moderate trauma, whereas actually, we are hearing individual stories, we are hearing stories of great sadness and pain. It's not a competition, so we have to preserve our own compassion. If we feel that our compassion is draining away, we need to think about why that should be and what we should do in order to preserve it, in order to stop ourselves becoming cynical and will-weary.
On the airways now is Nirvana Principle, ladies and gentlemen. He's a psychiatrist. That's made today happen.